Welcome back to Stevens Trains. As you can see, I've done a little bit of painting, just kind of gearing up for the future when I start doing some scenery work, which I'm going to be taking a break on heavy work on the layout now that all my track is in, well, except for the pieces that I'm still short. But as you can see, my yards are for the most part done. They're missing the bump stops, and you know, my main yard is still a little bit short because I'm still missing some track, but it's usable in its state right now. So I was going to kind of test it out for a while, make some videos on that to see if I can find any trouble spots, see if I need more feeders, if I have power issues, and I figured I would do that for a while, just to make sure it works before I glue this down. I also thought I would take the time this is my entire fleet. So I have my Amtrak right here with the 4 cars, or the 4 passenger cars. One of the first sets I've had for a number of years, probably 8 years or so. It's just kind of been sitting, not really used, as well as this yard engine right there. This is my newest engine that I've showed before. So I don't have any more passenger cars. That's on my list to get. Ideally, I'd like to have 3 different passenger engines because I have 3 station spots there, so I'd like to have 3 that I can alternate through. And these are my 2 freight engines, and these are all the freight cars that I have. So again, this is my entire fleet. So that's just my son over there napping in his crib. So we'll see how long I can do the video before he wakes up. But anyhow, what I thought I would do is, I believe I have, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I have 12 cars. So I figured I would hook them all up, see how these 2 guys do on the layout. Because I know some people have mentioned that I could have some problems on my S-curves I have over here, and I didn't know that at the time when I made this layout, but I have seen with the stuff that has been shared with me that these can be problematic. I'm hoping that with these being a downhill, and I do have a little tiny bit of a straight section in the curve, so technically not really, that hopefully I won't have any problems. And again, with this being downhill only, hopefully that will alleviate my problems. But I could expose it right now with a long train. So again, this will be 12 cars, 2 engines. So I'm going to see how well I can do. I don't have my tripod yet, so I'm going to try to do this one-handed. I may run into some problems of cars not wanting to hook up. We shall see. And I don't have all these switches hooked up yet, so I'm going to have to pull this out and move stuff around. Let's see. Okay. That one's power. That's all. Okay. That's all thrown the right way. Let's see if I can hook up. Some of these are Bachmann cars. Some of these are, I want to say they're Athearn cars. So they're, besides these 3 nice box cars right here, the 50-footers, everything else you see here I bought used at a train show for anywhere from $6 to $12 a freight car. So they're all different types of knuckles. Some of them are good, some of them are not so good. And, oh my God, it actually got it. I'm not going to do this at scale speed or whatnot. I'm sure you guys won't want to sit here waiting for all that. So I'm going to try to do this relatively quickly. Is that one powered? No, no, it's not. Okay. Hopefully I didn't just knock that one off the track. Let's see. Okay. So I'm going to cheat. Bear with me. Hopefully I don't knock it off. Okay. Okay, so that's 1, 2. Let's see if I get it the first try. I did it. All right. Okay. All right, did it hook up? All right, we're rolling. The one disadvantage with my layout here is that the minute you leave the yard, they're immediately climbing up the hill, and I got this one off rail. Hold on. Okay. All right, I think I got that. Okay, like I was saying, the minute I leave the yard here, it's immediately starting to climb up the hill. So when I'm doing kind of this switching operation, if you will, it'll be a lot of up the hill, down the hill, up the hill, down the hill until I have the train built. All right, she's on her way. Let's see how it goes. Slow that down. Climb the hill, no problem. I don't know what the weight of all these cars are. I know, like I mentioned before, some of these Athearn cars here are a little on the heavy side, so doesn't look like I lost any cars. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. No, I still got 12. There we go. Try not to move too fast here. Okay, here comes the moment of truth. I'll let you guys watch it. And let me know if you see anything that is concerning. Because this is glued down, but the track isn't. Looks like it's going to be okay. And it's made a complete loop. Done any stumbles, stalls, derailments? So it's climbing the hill. I thought I heard some rubbing. That empty flat car is actually a log car. I just haven't felt like putting the post in, and since I've been storing it for so long. Once it's actually out and done being moved back and forth, I'll put that one together. So I was thinking today, after watching some other people's videos, I might stack some 1-inch foam here to make a little tiny kind of mountain here, and in that corner, that back corner, maybe I could make a little bit of a kind of mountain right there. So little things to kind of break up seeing the trains up here on the top level, especially for the passenger engine. It'd be kind of cool, I think anyway, to have some separation from the train. Maybe give the layout the illusion that it's a little bit bigger. I didn't paint in between the tracks just because I figured that's all going to be covered in ballast, so I didn't need to, but feel free to post in the comments if I should or not, because I was not planning on it, but I could easily be persuaded to do so if that is more kind of proper. Well, I found my, I don't know if I should say my first mistake, but I'll call it my first track mistake. So I was testing, I split up the engine so that way I had two running at the same time. And what I was trying to do was shut down this outer line here to run the passing lane. So that way I was going to have both trains running at the same time, separated from one another, and then once one entered into the passing lane here, I was going to stop it, shut it down, or the passing lane, the main line here, I was going to shut it down here and run the passing lane. So when I killed the switches here, so that way it was running on the passing lane, this train was still running. And the reason why is my feeder's right there. So even with the switches thrown for the passing lane, this line is still getting power. So that means in my current configuration, I can never kill the power to this, to the main line, which is not necessarily a big deal. I can always leave this lane running and have a train parked on the passing lane. But that's not what I had intended. But that's how it is. So thought I would share my little screw up there. So all the fun happens when the camera's not rolling. I was running this engine right here with these cars up the 4% grade with this engine here running a little ways, just kind of coming out of the tunnel, when all of a sudden I heard all the freight cars break loose from the engine and start screaming down the 4%. So I want to say it disconnected somewhere over here. I don't know if it just wasn't a tight connection, or if there was a bump in the track that knocked it loose, but they were screaming down the track, heading right for this guy here. So I ended up flipping this switch so they could just run into the yard. They stopped pretty quickly thereafter. But you know, of course, all the fun stuff happens when the camera's not rolling. And then when this guy right here was climbing the hill with just these 6 cars right here, she was struggling. For whatever reason, this engine runs a lot slower than that one, or it could be that with these heavy box cars right here that maybe it was struggling. I ended up giving it more throttle, and all it was doing was still moving but spinning up the hill. So I wasn't sure if maybe it was derailed, whatnot, or maybe not fully on the track or what have you, or if something was stuck. Or if it was just straight up spinning up the hill with the weight. But I'm gonna have to do some more kind of looking into it, because this engine is considerably slower than that one. So gotta figure that out. Hopefully it's not an issue with the engine, or maybe it was just these cars. I guess what I could do is swap these engines real fast to see if that one has the same issue. And they seem to run just fine when they're paired together, pulling even all of this. There was no issues at all, but maybe that engine's working a little harder yanking this one up. So I don't know. Anybody have any thoughts? And with all that said, and all these small little videos pieced together, that's all I have for today. So thanks for watching.